Hey guys, and welcome to Marriage and Money.
So today we're going to be talking about credit cards, but before we go there, like, subscribe and join the family and join the journey as well. So Jonathan, tell us, what's the credit card?
So, in the simplest form, a credit card is literally money that you borrow from a lender, which you can spend for the meantime and for short term or long term. And at the end of it all, you have to pay that money back before you get interest charged on the money that you borrowed. And literally, that's what a credit card really is.
Yeah, so we're just gonna, I'm just gonna say different types of credit cards. So there's the plain vanilla. Plain vanilla is a credit card that does not offer you any benefits, basically. So you just get the loan and you spend the money and that's it. And then you have purchase credit cards. And so they will lend you money and they will, so you can make a big purchase. For example, you want to buy a washing machine or you want to buy
sofa,
something like that. And you can use that type of credit card to purchase those type of things, and they usually have a 0% interest. So for a period of time you have, some of them, not all of them, will have 0%, and then you can buy that thing and pay it back within the period that they allow you to get that. A second type of credit card out there is rewards card. And with these type of credit cards, I have one of these. So every time I spend, I get points on the card. And then when I accumulate a certain amount of points, I can go onto the rewards and then I can swap those points for, let's say, a voucher for our August £15, and then I can use that. So I prefer these type of credit cards.
So with those credit cards where you gain points,
yeah,
is it particular shops or is it a range of shops?
No, it's a range. Well, the one that I have is a range of shops. Obviously, this will vary depending on the credit card that you have. You also can get ones for like travel. So that's a good one. We're gonna get that one soon. So with that one, you get points towards travel when you want to travel, and there also is cashback ones as well. So when you spend money, they give you cashback on that. And there's also a credit card called the balance transfer credit card. So let's say you're paying high interest on a credit card over here. So credit card A, you're paying high interest on that one, and then you there is an option to apply for credit card B, which is a balance transfer credit card, which is usually also, you can get those sometimes at 0%, especially if you have good credit or you're trying to start building up your credit. And then so you transfer the money that you have on here to pay off this A credit card, and then you then pay this credit card B, which is the balance transfer, at like a low percentage or sometimes 0% interest, and then sometimes you have a fee to pay for them, and that way you have cleared the balance of this when you're paying high interest, and then you just pay low or 0% interest on this one, and for a certain period, so you're not accumulating more interest and going over and over and over and bigger and bigger into debt. So those are some of the different type of credit cards that are out there. Jonathan's gonna tell us like what's the benefits of a credit card.
All right, so there's quite a few benefits. So I'll just mention 3 benefits that we have gained and experienced, and also some that we've also researched. So the first benefit is that you build up your credit score. What's the credit score? Some of you may ask. So credit score literally is a record of how well you are dealing with your finances, and with different companies that check your credit score, they've got different scores. So for example, if you're paying really well and you've been faithfully with your payments, you may get a high credit score. But if you've missed some payments and you're taking a lot of credit cards in a space of short periods of time, which is close to each other with the applications that you made, then your credit score will go down because it shows that you're not really handling your money well. So with getting a credit card for the first time, it will boost up your credit score because it will show that, okay, you're able to borrow, and hopefully, which is the plan, you're able to pay it back in time. So it's really good, and with credit score, you'll be able to like get a loan for a house, which is called mortgage, later on in life, or even right now if you're planning to. So it's really good. Secondly, the second benefit of a credit card is that you can have money right now that you may not have and pay that money later. So let's say, for example, you need £1,000. You got £1,000, but you know at the end of the month you'll get £1,000. So you can use a credit card to pay down that £1,000, and then at the end of the month, when you get that £1,000, whether from your paycheck or from another stream of income, you can pay that £1,000 back on the credit card, and you have no interest at all. So that will also, something like that will build up your credit score. And the third benefit that we know of a credit card that we would like to share is that you be able to make big purchases. For example, as we mentioned, as sofa. So if you know you need to buy a TV, washing machine, sofa, any type of furniture, anything that's big purchase, if you know you need that right now, then a credit card would be beneficial for you to apply for so that you can pay for that big purchase.
Yeah, and also the aim of a credit card is not for you to max out the amount of money that they give you. You should never do that, because that brings your credit score. Because to the lenders, it's saying that you need so much money, you need so much money, and you're taking all the money that they've lent to you. From research, you should use around 10 to 30% of the amount that they give you. So, for example, if your credit card has a limit of £1,000, you should only use between £100 and £300, and you should, to boost up your credit score, you should never go over like £300, for example. It's a deception that they give you £1,000 and you think, yeah, I've got that money, but no, don't do that. Don't max it out. Just use between 10 and 30%. So I'll just give you an example of how we use the credit card. So when we were booking our honeymoon, we used a credit card, and we had enough money, like we had enough balance to be able to do that, to pay off, to purchase the honeymoon and not go way max out the credit card. So that was beneficial for us. And the reason why we did that, it was because we could pay immediately, and two, we would be able to secure our day, and it just made sense, because we'll just pay it then and then pay it off later, and obviously as well that's helping us to build up credit score as well. And that way we got so much points on the card that we use, so therefore we can go and use that to go get like £15 voucher, or how much pounds it gives us. So we get two benefits in one. And with that, we made sure we had a budget. Made sure we had a budget for
the 12-month period, because it was a 0% purchase credit card. So that was the type of credit card we had. So we literally did a budget for 12 months. 9 months. 9 months. This is how we're going to be paying back over the 9 months. And by the end of the last month, we finished that credit card, and it was so great that we stuck to it. And it's really good because you stick to the budget, you stick to the plan, you communicate and show that you're paying at the end of the month. And literally before our honeymoon, we paid everything off.
Because we didn't want to go on honeymoon thinking, that's not paid off. That was not part of the plan. So that's an example of how we utilize the benefits of a credit card.
So you may be wondering, do I need a credit card right now? Is it really right for me to get one? Well, we're just going to give you some points to help you gauge to know whether you need it right now or you can wait for later on. So one of the things that you need to consider is that, do you have a regular flow of income? Because with credit card, it may be free money in your eyes, but it's really not. It's money that you borrow. So therefore the lender is waiting and requiring and expecting you to pay that money. And if you don't have a regular flow of income, for example, if you get a purchase 12 months 0% credit card, and you know for 12 months you ain't gonna have a flow of income, then it's really not a wise thing to get a credit card if you are uncertain that it will be a regular flow of income, because you'll need that to pay off the credit card balance. A second point is that it's good for your credit score, as we mentioned earlier on. So if you think I need to build up my credit score, I only just have a phone contract, then getting a credit card will really help you build up your credit score, as it will show that you're responsible in borrowing money and you're faithful in paying it back on time.
That is the key.
Faithful
to pay it back on time. So going forward, so if based off what Jonathan has said, if you feel like, oh yes, I do have a regular income and I would like to build up my credit score, two things that you can do to ensure to make sure that you're faithful in paying it back. You pre-plan or have how you're going to pay it back.
Do that budget.
You do not want to fall into the trap of just saying, "Oh, I'll pay it back whenever," because that is what causes a snowball effect, and people fall into debt because they just don't make a plan of how they're gonna pay it back.
If you don't think you're really that disciplined in your finances, in terms of, oh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna pay it back on time, probably setting up a direct debit with the credit card from your current account would help, so then you don't forget making a payment, because that's literally one of the key points. Don't miss a payment, because the interest will build and build. As Deborah mentioned, it will just be like a snowball effect, and you don't want to end the year with a huge amount of interest that you got to pay back. So,
and credit cards usually have a minimum of how much you should pay each month. So for example, if you have a 0% interest card, you could just ensure that you pay the minimum each month. But the advice is just to clear it off each month before the date of when it should be paid by, and that will help build up your credit, help to utilize a credit card and build up your credit score.
Well, guys, I hope you learned quite a lot about credit cards, if you didn't know about credit cards. And if you do know about credit cards, hope you learned a lot about the benefits of utilizing the credit cards and the certain things you need to consider to make sure that if you need it or if you want it at this moment, depending on this financial circumstance you are in. So do remember, credit cards, you can use it for your benefit, to build up your credit score, to have money right now which you can pay off later, and at the same time be able to make big purchases for things that you want to buy, which are, high in value.
And working together, so we know each other's credit card due dates, and we make sure to put that in the budget so that we can clear those out and never get into the cycle of like, oh, we're late, interest charge. No. Just being little things of just knowing the dates and being efficient, of not spending past the 10 to 30% within that of the money that you are been borrowed, helps to be on top of things.
Definitely. And even on top of that, with talking about this together with your husband or your wife, it will build up that transparency. It will build up accountability, making sure you guys don't miss any payments, or if you guys agree, let's do a direct debit, we don't know if we're going to remember every month to pay it back. These are things that will be helpful. So don't let a credit card split your marriage or distort your marriage, or even for like you can't even spend wisely with the credit card and be faithful to pay it back together, because at the end of the day, in marriage, you can build unity through working together in finance. So don't forget that.
And even if you're not married, you can do it too.
Start early. Start early, start early. But yes, guys, please, if you've got any questions, put in the comments. If you've got any stories that you want to share, put in the comments. We would love to read them and even reply back to them. And don't forget to subscribe and like us.
And come back for another video.
Indeed.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.